Hello and welcome to the final Euro Fantasy video before Matchday 1 kicks off. Today we are doing the final team selection before the deadline stream, of course, tomorrow. Make sure to turn notifications on for that one. We will be going live at 6 PM tomorrow night, and that will have any final tinkers or anything like that before it. So we are going to go through a couple of extra things before we get started, and that's going to be the fixtures, the clean sheet odds, the goal scoring odds, and then we'll have my captains after the team selection as well. So if you're unaware, I am doing the chip strategy of wildcard in matchday 2 and limitless in matchday 3. I'm just adamant that that is going to be the best way of kind of using the group stage and getting the most points out of the group stage. I've had multiple situations where I've tried to use different teams and different strategies, and I keep coming back to the same wildcard 2 limitless 3. So the team I've got right now, which I do think is one of the best teams you can get for matchday 1, has terrible fixtures in matchday 2. So for me it just makes sense to use that wildcard in matchday 2. So this team obviously just focusing on purely matchday 1, and as you can see by the fixtures on the screen, we're looking at the best fixtures for matchday 1 alone. So obviously the team is going to be targeting primarily the green fixtures as where we want to be looking. That's going to be mainly Italy, Denmark, Belgium and Turkey as well, with the dark green fixtures. Then Portugal, Ukraine, Romania, Holland and Germany as well have some pretty decent fixtures, and then of course the orange fixtures are decent fixtures for most teams as well. But this is primarily where our players are going to be coming from, obviously, because they are the easier teams. So in terms of clean sheets, we obviously want our defenders to have high clean sheet odds, and these are the top 10 teams that have the highest chance of a clean sheet. Now these stats are all from 11ify, so make sure to head over to Twitter and give them a follow because their website is fantastic. They've got predicted goals scored, predicted points in the group stage, clean sheet odds as well, of course, and it's just a really good website to use for this kind of stuff. Looking at the clean sheet odds, Italy, again, we spoke about this in the previous draft video. Italy are way up the top for clean sheet odds, and obviously that 55%. I'm really wanting to double up on the Italy defence. I just think they, obviously with the high chance of doing that, and then the wing backs as well, have really good chances of an attack in return. The only problem obviously being with the Italy players is we don't really know who the defence is going to be. Obviously Bastoni and DiMarco look like the only two nailed on ones. Bastoni obviously doesn't really pick up lots of points for fantasy, so DiMarco absolutely nailed in my team, and the other one is a bit of a question mark as to who that is going to be because we don't really know who's going to start. Denmark as well, with a pretty nice chance of a clean sheet. I would like a Denmark defender as well. Then we're followed by Belgium, Holland and Germany, all with fairly similar clean sheet odds, 42%, 42% and 41% for those guys. Then we start to get a bit lower down to the 1 in 3 kind of chances with England, Portugal, Switzerland, Ukraine and Turkey. So I'm going to be mainly focusing my defence on the left hand side, obviously because they've got higher chances of odds, and obviously we want attack and returns from those guys as well. When looking at attackers, obviously these are the goal scoring odds as well, and again very tight at the top between probably the main 4 guys that a lot of people have been talking about, and that's Mbappe, Ronaldo, Lukaku and Kane. And again, looking at the odds specifically, there's not really any difference to change your mind. Like 2%, 1% isn't enough of a difference to think, oh, I want this person instead. So you're really picking 3 of these 4 guys, and the rest of them are just slightly a bit behind. Obviously Depay in there, Havertz, Gakpo, Giroud, Morata, Dovbyk, all again looking like some pretty decent options. But obviously, as most people have been doing, the big 3 up top is looking like the best option, and obviously the odds are showing that with those 4 guys. So this is the current team that we are going with heading into matchday 1 for now, and again, like I said, trying to target the odds as much as possible. So we've got that front 3 of Lukaku, Kane and Mbappe. Missing out on Ronaldo on that one. I'm just not convinced. Like, if I had 4 strikers, I probably would end up going with Ronaldo, but I'm not convinced that obviously his form against, his game against Ireland is going to directly translate into the Euros. I don't know if he's going to get the full 90 minutes. I think Ramos is going to come on at some point. And I'm happy enough just to have Bruno Fernandes to kind of cover him off. I think he's better as a cover off than the other options for the other strikers. For example, having, I think Lukaku is a much better option than De Bruyne is. I think Kane's a much better option than Bellingham is. I think Mbappe is a much better option than whatever midfielder you can get for France. I think the only one's really Kingsley Coman. So I'm happy enough. I feel like Bruno and Ronaldo are kind of on that same kind of level. So I'm happy enough to go with that. And I can't really find a good midfield that I like. Really, I'm struggling to find a lot, more than 3 midfielders that I'm a big fan of. So I went for these guys for now. Çalhanoğlu is the really good fixture against Georgia. I think he actually has turned out to be a bit of a differential. It seems to be a lot of people are preferring Güler to him. Szoboszlai as well, probably one of the players I'm a bit unsure of. I'll talk more about him in a minute. And then Wirtz as well. Preferring to Gundogan in Matchday 1. I think overall, I've been saying this, I do prefer Gundogan as an option. But I think in Matchday 1, Wirtz just edges it because of the obviously weak right-hand side for Scotland, which I've been speaking about. And then the defence, we've been purely going on odds here. You can see by I'm doubling up on Holland and I'm doubling up on Italy. Again, 2 teams that have some really nice odds. I would like to probably ideally triple up on the Netherlands. I think the player to come out would be Melee. If anything, if maybe Frimpong was confirmed that he was going to start, I would definitely make the transfer from Melee to Frimpong. Happy with the double Italian defence. The only issue obviously would be Cambiaso. I've got another graphic here I can show the players. So I've got 3 players that I'm not really too sure on, and that is Cambiaso, Szoboszlai and Højbjerg. The rest I'm happy enough to keep in the team. Cambiaso, obviously a 4 million defender. If he's going to play at right wing back, that would be unreal basically, because he enables a lot and it's the double Italy defence that I did want. The other option obviously being Di Lorenzo, but he's an extra 1.5 million to Cambiaso and would have to downgrade someone else elsewhere. Szoboszlai, I'm just not really sure he's going to do amazingly against Switzerland. I think Switzerland can be quite solid defensively, so I'm not really too sure on him. And then Højbjerg as well, I still think he's a decent option, obviously for ball recoveries and the potential for goals and assists as well. He's just not an explosive option that I would prefer to have in there. So that's the 3 guys that I'm not really too sure of. The rest, again, as I said, I'm happy enough to keep. So double Dutch defence, double Italian defence. Melee, again, the Denmark defence is the second highest to keep a clean sheet as well. And Mittelstadt has been probably one of the first players on the team sheet since the game was released. And he's definitely not coming out of the team as well. And rounding things off, we have the captaincy choices. Now, you can see it's a little bit differential in terms of the first couple of days. Basically because why not? You've got 5 opportunities to make a captaincy throughout the first match day. So my thinking is, at some point we're going to get to day 3, day 4, and I'm going to want Kane, I'm going to want Lukaku as the captain. So I'm thinking, I think most people are going to be on Wirtz, Gundogan, Havertz on the first day. So I'm thinking I'll go for Mittelstadt just as a total punt. If he scores and keeps a clean sheet, fantastic. We can keep him as the captain. He's going to get a lot of points, and if he scores and gets a clean sheet, the high chances of getting player of the match as well. And if he doesn't do well, then I just switch it to DeMarco. Again, the same with him. Scores, clean sheet. We've got a lot of points, probably player of the match as well. And if both of them don't do well, then what have I missed out on? Whatever points Wirtz gets, Wirtz isn't going to be scoring a hat-trick against Scotland, although could end up easily happening knowing Scotland. But yeah, that's basically the way I'm thinking. I don't think DeMarco really has any big competitors apart from maybe Szoboszlai, who again isn't going to be scoring a hat-trick against Switzerland, so happy enough to go there. And then you're on to the big guys with Kane, Lukaku and Bruno Fernandes. So happy for the first day, the first 2 days, just to go for total punt picks and the captaincy options, because I've got 3 huge captaincies in the back if they don't work out. So more than happy to go there. But that is going to round off this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like, and remember to join the mini league. We are on about 950 members, which is absolutely insane. So make sure to join and try hit 1,000 before the deadline. We've only got a day to go. We only need 50 more people. So if you haven't already, use the link. Use the code, and there's a link in the description to join that as well. Make sure to subscribe as well if you are new, and make sure to turn on notifications for the deadline stream tomorrow, and I hope to see you all there. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.